type to hike and yell, it might scare away the grizzlies. We venture out for days and nights at a time. Rain or shine, you might find a ride at the trailhead, but that's not where we'll be. We've wandered off beyond where you can see. There are unknowns where our path leads. We take our chances. Where we go, there's no internet or TV. We wear boots that shed the morning dew, found in the meadows. When we're in camp, we want to have dry feet. We will hike through endless downfall, we'll traverse the swampy bog, we'll cross the waters of the creek bed while balanced on a log. We fill our packs with gear and snacks, as much as we can carry. Morning comes and it's an early start to our day. Hey, hey, we cross paths with the bison herd and sleep among bugling elk. There's a bear on the trail who'll help get out of our way. Hey, hey, we wander open meadows, we camp out under the stars. When we're in the backcountry, keep no haul too far. Hike off trail through rock or swale, our bear spray at the ready. We taking views as far as the eye can see. Ooh-wee, if it should rain, we'll stay dry by putting on a poncho. If it rains hard, we'll duck under a tree. We might walk a narrow ridge line, a fall from there might hurt. We might try the muddy canyon, our boots be covered in dirt. We might hike for days and days while wearing the same shirt. We're the long haul hikers, the wilderness is our dessert. In September 2025, friends Bob, Patrick, Hugh, Cody, and I left the developed portions of Yellowstone National Park to set about on a 4-night backcountry outing along Boundary Creek in the park's southwest corner. Bob guided us through a quick tour of both upper and lower Mesa Falls on our way to Cave Falls Road in our re-entry into Yellowstone. We left a shuttle vehicle at the Bechler Ranger Station, stopped for a quick look at Cave Falls, then Bob drove us to a remote roadside turnout that marked the trailhead of our route leading into the backcountry. Well, that catches us up for day one. We utilized an abandoned logging road to navigate a portion of the Caribou-Targhee National Forest. We reached the western boundary of Yellowstone National Park, and once inside, we found the official Boundary Creek Trail. We followed it to our first night's camp on the shores of remote Buffalo Lake and Backcountry Campsite 9A5. So it begins, the trek to Buffalo Lake. It's supposed to be a hike of, I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 5 miles according to Bob, so we'll see how it goes. Not much excitement to speak of so far in our journey. The old logging road has turned into a logging corridor of sorts. About 2 miles in. We've got trails coming up on a clearing up here, which is going to take us right to the edge of Yellowstone National Park. Hopefully find our trailhead to Buffalo Lake up here somewhere. Well, here we are at the edge of Yellowstone National Park. We are coming up on the Buffalo Lake Patrol Cabin, and just beyond what looks to be Buffalo Lake. Still a cool setup. Yep.
It's the old patrol cabin. Looks like nobody's home. So we're walking around Buffalo Lake to our campsite over there. And disappointingly, it seems to be void of buffalo, at least for now. Maybe they come out a little bit later. Home sweet home. Campsite 9A5. Alright, we more or less got our first night's tent set up. Our humble abode. Bob's already walking over there to hang his food bag. Got Hugh with the ultra spacious REI Quarter Dome 1. We got Bob. Bob sadly is only staying with us for one night, but one night's better than none, so Bob is welcome. Way off in the distance I can see brother Cody's safety yellow shirt, so we'll see what he's up to over here. Look at that, he's all decked out with the camp chair and all sorts of fancy stuff. Yeah. What do you say, brother Cody?
Yeah, I'm about set up. Figure out hanging food and stuff.
That's the next step. Let's see what brother Patrick's up to. What is that, Patrick? An upside down canoe? Oh, Patrick is always the one to try some innovative new things, and it's pretty slick looking. He's got the Tyvek ground cover, which is going to be noisier than my sleeping pad, no doubt. Patrick, buddy, you're an inspiration.
Everyone settled into camp, even Patrick, and we enjoyed a tasty dinner while losing track of both time and direction on the shores of Buffalo Lake. On day 2, we left the solitude of Buffalo Lake behind, traveled in the southeast direction on the Boundary Creek Trail. The waterfall we hoped to see on a tributary of Boundary Creek was dry, so we moved on through a couple of interesting thermal areas and worked our way down to Backcountry Campsite 9A4, where we were able to set up our tents and have dinner while dodging a couple raindrops that moved in for the evening.
That's the morning of day 2. Hugh's leading us around Buffalo Lake. Got the rest of the crew. Today Bob leaves us, unfortunately. He's got priorities he has to tend to at the Bob estate, so we'll miss him. But the rest of us are gonna try and follow Boundary Creek south to our next campsite, which the goal is to get to there, about 5 miles today. Stopping at a waterfall and a thermal feature or two along the way. It's quite the crew we got following up over here behind us. Pain an explosion or something back there, and We have ourselves quite the action movie. Well, the waterfall wasn't what we hoped it would be, but I see some steamy stuff ahead, so maybe the thermal areas will be more interesting. Seems a crossing is in order. This one looks like it could benefit from switching shoes. Well, here goes nothing. Ooh, that's chilly. Speedsters say we're in the campsite. I see some infrastructure ahead. 9A4, Talis Terrace. And I guess that's how this campsite gets its name. Big pile of talus. Yeah, we got the beers a soaking. There's a, if you can see it down in there, a Boundary Creek frog watching over things. So our priorities are set. Bear pole shenanigans, night number 2 or day number 2. See how many tries it takes us to get over top. Third time's the charm. Well, I guess now's as good a time as any to do our tour of the tent and campground for night 2 and 3. Here's my little setup. The Quarter Dome 1 SL. Very nice tent. Hugh is sporting the original Quarter Dome 1. A little bit of a tongue twister. That one may be the precursor. His is not SL, so his is not, I don't know, super light. I have no idea what the SL stands for. Some threatening skies overhead, but we're optimistic that we'll be spared. Lovely view of Boundary Creek. Should be nice to listen to when you fall asleep. See if we can find Brother Cody over here somewhere. Amongst the trees. There he is, tucked away. All nestled in. It's a nice little spot he's got for himself in here. He has the, I don't even know what the heck that says. Lost Nature? Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Nice and compact. Reminds me of Bob's tent a little bit. Bob's Rainbow. Yeah, then we gotta go figure out where the heck Patrick went. He's in a land all by himself. But that is pretty much the standard for Brother Patrick. Last night Patrick tells me that he had to reorganize his upside down canoe into more of a angled tarp because he was getting too much condensation. So we'll see how he's set up tonight. Living the life, huh, Brother Cody?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Patrick's over rearranging his setup now.
Already. Can't wait to find him and see what he's up to. I'm doing like an off-trail bushwhack just to get Patrick's setup over here. Oh yeah, this is worth the walk. Brother Patrick, you got some visitors, or a visitor. What do we got over here? Slanted tarp configuration.
Well, we're back at camp and I just gotta get my tent back in shape and realign it. Storm's coming.
Brother Patrick's a special case, all right. Yeah, the skies look a little dark, but hopefully the odds are in Patrick's favor. Day 2, been in camp a couple hours. It's trying to threaten to rain on us, but so far, Cody and I refuse to give in. I heard a pika up there.
Yeah, that's their territory, isn't it?
Yep.
Backcountry Campsite 9A4 will be our home for 2 nights. So for day 3, we planned a day hike, climbed the rocky terrain across from camp, and contoured around to the Valley of Death thermal area and upper reaches of Silver Scarf Creek. We followed an off-trail path south through wooded terrain and eventually rejoined the creek above Silver Scar Falls. We moved over to Dunanda Falls and enjoyed soaking in the warm waters of its base, then found our way back to camp by following the Boundary Creek Trail.
Well, we're heading out on day 3. This is the day of the optional day hike, which everybody's taken up the option. I'm going to try and climb this kind of a hill you see over on the side of us here. A less steep part than that, but you can see we can jump over to the Valley of Death thermal area, follow the Silver Scar Falls drainage down to Dunanda Falls, see if it's a party-like atmosphere there with the big waterfall, hang out at the falls for a bit, and find our way back. Should be a fun day. So the goal is to get up the top of this hill. Easy peasy. Take this line right along the side of the rocks here. Well, looks like we got rocks and more rocks. Remember, best part of travel is retrospect. I think we're a little crazy. That's what I think. Continuing on across the rock. I think we have arrived. Location of the Valley of Death thermal area. Let's go see what it's got to offer. More cool stuff. It's an angry little valley down there. Lovely view of the Tetons up ahead there. Say we take a walk up towards Dunanda Falls over here and see what it's all about, eh? Start to get misty. Woo, windy. Check out that rainbow. Almost a whole circle. Well, that was a treat, having the falls all to ourselves. I think the secret's maybe to come on a Wednesday. But check that off the Yellowstone wish list, to-do list. Put it on the to-do again list, I guess, because that was special. So we're getting close to closing our day hike loop. Apparently up there is where we were this morning, crossing the Talus, which I don't know why he lets me plan anything, but as he says, it's part of the adventure. So we'll be coming up here in a bit. It's gonna wrap up the day hike for, I don't know what day this is, 3, 4. Sure, we'll have some shenanigans over supper and all that, but let's see. Let's see what our distance was today. We are about 7.75, so probably be about 8-mile day when we're all said and done. Good hearty day. Hope you had fun with us. Well, let's see what tomorrow brings.
On the morning of day 4, we packed up our belongings at Backcountry Campsite 9A4, headed south on the Boundary Creek Trail, took one last look at Dunanda Falls before continuing south, dodging raindrops and storm clouds through the Bechler Meadows. We worked our way down to Backcountry Campsite 9B1, where we spent our last night looking over the banks of Boundary Creek.
Morning of day 4, we're leaving campsite 9A4, Talis Terrace, behind. Made a chilly crossing of Boundary Creek, and today the goal is to get to campsite 9B1, which is about 8 miles away or so. Maybe stop for lunch at Dunanda Falls, but the next couple miles, just a nice leisurely stroll through the forest. I think we're coming up in our first mud hole of the day. Yeah. Don't want to walk through that if we can help it. There we go. Easy peasy. You hear that rumbling? That's not my stomach. I had to stop and do a trailside wardrobe adjustment. Back cover, rain jacket. It was actually hailing here for a little bit. Seems to have lightened up a little, but hopefully it blows over before we get to camp. On rare occasions in Yellowstone National Park, if you happen to be in a meadow and it happens to be raining, there's a chance of sighting a large blue round man known as the Cajun poncho. What we have in front of us is such a sighting. It's best not to agitate the Cajun poncho, as he can be a little volatile in his reactions. All right. Which way we want to go?
Are we going to Boundary Creek?
I'm gonna go that way. Thank you. More than one person at a time.
On day 5, we left Backcountry Campsite 9B1. Patrick and Cody followed the Bechler Meadows trail, while Hugh and I chose the scenic route and followed the winding Bechler River as we worked our way back to the trailhead and the Bechler Ranger Station.
It's bright and early on day 5. This is the day we head out from campsite 9B1 to the trailhead at the Bechler Ranger Station. Heading out's always a little bittersweet because you're leaving the wilderness behind, but I guess to compensate for that, you get a hot meal, a hot shower, and a bed to sleep in. I guess that's not so bad either. But I'm gonna take a little scenic route today. There's 2 directions we can go at a fork up here. I think we'll take the scenic route that follows the river a little bit. So trip's not over yet. Still a little bit more to go. Closer to the trailhead, it's time to do our traditional little send-off. Say the if you like what you see, if you like where we go, give us a follow on the Tractor.dvm YouTube channel. It's been a good 5-day journey. Haven't added up the mileage yet, but wasn't too bad this time around. Good company, good scenery. Weather cooperated for the most part. A little bit of rain here and there. Last night was a little cold, but it's September in Yellowstone, so you get a little bit of everything with that. I thank you for hiking with me, as always. And I look forward to maybe having you follow me on the trail next time. game of how many takes does it take to get the
One
rope up
shot.
the bear pole. You happen to be in the middle. Whoa. Down we go. I'll try that again. Check this one off the Yellowstone bucket to-do list. There's a treat. Cool waterfall. Oh, geez. Hope you didn't catch that. There's a brother-in-law over there who's kind of exposed. Oh no, it's doubled. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what, that there's some dang old good old beer, man.
Yep.
Yep.